Welcome back. Well, here we are, especially today of all days, where we have a public inquiry beginning its hearings on foreign interference in our democracy in Ottawa. Well, at the same time, technology is moving forward, and Elections Quebec announced a pilot project that will allow online voting. So to tell us more, I'm joined by Julie St-Arnaud-Drolet, spokesperson for Elections Quebec. Thank you very much for your time this morning, Julie.
My pleasure. Hi.
Hi. So tell me about this project. This is for the municipal elections in 2025, correct?
Yes. So we're preparing the first trial of internet voting for the 2025 municipal elections. And we are looking into internet voting to make voting more accessible. Mm-hmm. So the first step for us was to study the experiences of internet voting in Canada and around the world. So we're looking into it since 2018. Mm-hmm. And our study sadly didn't show that introducing the internet voting increased voter turnout. So we really aim to make voting easier for people who want to vote.
Well, I think everybody is for more accessibility in terms of our democracy. What were the best international cases or cases in Canada? What were the models, the best places where they implemented this?
I think maybe it could be Estonia, where the internet voting is implemented since 2005, mm-hmm. and they use it continuously since then. But there were also experiences in Ontario, mm-hmm. In some municipalities there, and also in Halifax in Nova Scotia. And at the territory level, the Territoire du Nord-Ouest mm-hmm. Tried it for their last two general elections. So we have a couple of experiences here in Canada.
Okay, so then comes the question of course, of today of all days, but what about security? I mean, that's obviously the main question. Yeah. What is being done? What are the systems? What's the monitoring to make sure these types of ways to vote are not susceptible to hacking, foreign interference, mm-hmm. any type of incidents? Because obviously you understand now that that's always the big questions these days.
Yeah, of course. So as I said, we have been studying internet voting since 2018, and we have established strict security and reliability requirements. So solutions exist to control the risks. And the selected company, we are not, because we made a call for tenders on last October, mm-hmm. and we are now in the selection process. Okay. And the selected company will have to meet over 100 requirements. And the solution will also have to pass a test bench and an independent safety audits. So we take the matter really seriously. Mm-hmm. And if there's no solution that meet our requirements, it's still an option that we didn't make the pilot project. So we first have to see if an independent company is able to meet our requirements.
Mm-hmm. So can you walk me through how this would work? So 2025, so it's going to be like in November. I forget which day. It's going to be in early November. Yep. So I'm in Montreal. Montreal is one of the 21 cities. So how would this work? I will go online. I'll go on the Elections Quebec website and register in some way and have to be able to vote?
It will not be on Elections Quebec website, mm-hmm. so it's a complete independent solution. Mm-hmm. But voters will have to register first. It's mm-hmm. a first step to control the identity of the electors. Mm-hmm. And after that, voters will receive an access card to access the internet voting solution. And it's important to say also that electors will have the option of voting by internet, will also have access to all other voting options. So they could therefore choose internet voting or vote in person. But if they choose to vote by internet, internet voting will be offered over 2-3 day voting periods. So during these periods, it will be people will be allowed to vote 24 hours a day, but the internet voting won't be available on advanced polling days or on election day. In order to offer those days for all the electors. Because, in polling stations, the list of electors are on paper.
Yeah.
So we cannot mark the list. If a person votes by internet in the morning and go to a polling station by the afternoon, electoral staff won't know that this person already votes. So that's why we won't allow internet voting on those days where we can vote in person.
You're answering what was my next question, because I'm very familiar, of course, with how this works. So obviously, you see the poll workers by hand, literally checking the paper lists. So to make sure a person doesn't vote twice, once in person, once online. So these periods of voting will be before the actual in-person voting periods?
Exactly. So the week before the advanced polling days, you will have a 3-day internet voting period. And after that, it will stop for the advanced polls. And after that, we will have a 3-day internet voting period. And after that, it will stop for the day for the voting on election day.
Very interesting. So my last question, Julie, is about why 21 cities? Why not go for more or less, or try to do it across the province? Why these 21, which seem to be like the 21 largest cities? Does that make sense?
There's a variety of size.
Okay.
So some of them have like 20,000 electors, and Montreal over 1 million.
Yeah.
So, and it's really important for us to have this diversity in order to in order to see who use the internet voting in different environments. And our aim by doing it like in 21 cities is to have a very cautious and gradual approach. So internet voting will be available in certain districts or boroughs of those 21 cities. So no more than 300 voters. 300,000 voters will be able to try out internet voting. So it's really to be cautious. It's a small-scale pilot project.
Oh, that's understandable. And do you have any hopes in terms of increased participation? Because municipal elections, it's a problem. Like here in Montreal in 2021, less than 35% of eligible voters actually voted. So do you have a target? Do you hope an increase by a certain percentage?
We would be really happy if there's if it's increased the participation. But as I said, our study of international experiences and also experiences in Canada didn't show that it increased the voter turnout. So we have to manage our expectations. But we'll see. We'll try it and we'll see. And we would be very glad if it increased the participation, of course.
Very interesting. Good luck with the project. And I appreciate your time this morning, Julie.
Thanks you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too. Julie St-Arnaud-Drolet, spokesperson for Élections Québec.